After the virus outbreak, the girl took refuge in her meticulously prepared underground safe house. The 150 square meter space was stocked with enough food, water, and medicine to last 5 years. The day before, she had addressed some vulnerabilities outside the safe house and modified her hummingbird drone, making her shelter more secure. But that afternoon, members of the experimental organization had raided a nearby survivor outpost, stirring up the anxiety she had just begun to ease. At 5:12 a.m., she jolted awake from a nightmare, her back soaked in cold sweat. In the dream, the unnaturally strong, burly leader had smashed through the safe house's iron door with a single punch, his face twisted into a grotesque, terrifying grin. Lucky, startled by her sudden movement, leaped onto the bed and let out a displeased meow. The way the organization had withdrawn yesterday felt too calculated, too deliberate. With that thought, she rolled out of bed and hurried to the monitoring station. Pulling up the footage recorded by the hummingbird drone the previous day, she carefully re-examined the details of their retreat. After leaving the farm, they hadn't gone far, they had set up an ambush nearby. But what were they waiting for? Just then, the drone's camera captured another scene. 3 military off-road vehicles driving along the highway, marked with the insignia of the Nighthawk Task Force. These were military personnel. A female combat medic, medical kit in hand, began bandaging the wounded survivors, while fully armed officers gathered information from them. Suddenly, Zhu Min's words echoed in her mind, "Give the flash drive to the military." But the girl hesitated. If her identity as Subject X-16 were exposed, it could put her in grave danger. At 7:45 a.m., munching on a ration bar, she kept her eyes fixed on the surveillance feed. The military squad had left the farm and was moving closer to the safe house. In the end, she made a bold decision. She deleted all files related to Subject X-16 from the flash drive, placed it into the drone's micro-storage slot, and set the flight route. Then she watched as the hummingbird drone flew gracefully out of the ventilation shaft and disappeared into the morning light. At 9:20 a.m., the drone transmitted real-time footage back to her. The military squad had stopped near the edge of the woods, about 500 meters from the safe house, apparently taking a break. The female medic was on the radio contacting base. The girl maneuvered the drone to descend, hovering on a branch just above one of the officers, then pressed the release button. The flash drive landed precisely at the officer's feet. As he scanned the surroundings warily, the drone quickly ascended and hid itself. The moment the officer picked up the flash drive, members of the experimental organization stormed out from their ambush positions. Now she understood what they had been waiting for. Anger tightened her hands into fists. The unnaturally strong leader demanded the soldiers hand over the flash drive and, with a single punch, send one of them flying several meters back, crashing heavily against a tree trunk. The officer immediately ordered his team to open fire. Gunshots instantly tore through the forest silence. Yet the leader's skin was as tough as crocodile hide, bullets only left shallow marks on him. Suddenly, he grabbed the female soldier by the collar, threw her to the ground, then roared the girl's name into the surrounding woods. He knew she was nearby and threatened that if she didn't show herself, everyone would die because of her. The girl's heart nearly stopped. She believed they were capable of such brutality, but she forced herself to stay calm. Zooming in with the drone's camera, she noticed that despite his violent movements, the leader's right leg moved with obvious stiffness, as if the joint couldn't bend properly. Moreover, his pupils dilated and contracted abnormally in the sunlight, a telltale sign of infection. Having read the encrypted files before, the girl understood the leader wasn't a successful test subject. He had forcibly gained his strength by injecting serum from other test subjects. Instantly, she remembered that bee venom could cause severe harm to the infected. Without hesitation, she rushed to the bathroom, grabbed a bottle of strong floral fruity perfume, and liberally sprayed it over a second, white hummingbird drone. The beehive behind the safe house once again proved useful. In under a minute, a dark cloud of bees followed drone number 2 straight toward the battlefield. When the leader saw the approaching swarm, fear flashed across his face for the first time. Bee venom affected the infected far more severely than ordinary humans. Under the bee's assault, his skin began to blister and decay, his muscles twitching violently as he howled in agony. But his reaction differed slightly from other infected individuals. He didn't collapse immediately. Instead, he seemed to lose all rationality, attacking indiscriminately, even striking his own teammates. Finally, pursued relentlessly by the bees, he fled in panic. Seeing this, the remaining organization members scattered and retreated as well. The female soldier turned toward the direction of the drone and solemnly saluted before withdrawing under her teammates' cover. By evening, exhausted, the girl sat on the sofa, allowing herself to soak in the temporary sense of security. She stood up and walked over to the planting box. The tender sprouts had grown a little taller, vibrant and green, full of life. It seemed her vegetable growing project was still on track. Late at night, weary to the bone, she drifted into a deep sleep. What tomorrow would bring, she didn't know. But for today, her safe house remained secure.